to MB Tribe. You already know who it is. It's your girl MaevëBeauty back with another video. And as you can tell from the title above, it's another story time video. I know y'all love my story times and we're going to get into it. But before we get into it, so my beauties and my beasts, what's poppin'? Thank y'all for showing up and showing up and showing up and showing up again for another new video. Y'all are my tribe for real. I love y'all. We the best. We rockin' heavy out here and all that. And to my new subbies, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on your post notifications and share. If you are now a part of the tribe and this is your first video, make sure you comment down some blue hearts in the comment section below so I know what's really up. And hey, this is the channel where you get humble, open, and transparent over here. This is the channel for the self-love journey. This is the channel for the tea. This is the channel with the crackhead energy. This is the channel with it all. Like, this is MaevëBeauty. You're now in my world. It's like, no. But other than that, let's get into this video. So this story has, let me stop using my hands so much. But this story has 3 main characters. First main character is my best friend. We're gonna call her Shrimp. Second main character is the boyfriend of my best friend, aka my little brother, and we're gonna call him Zay. And then the third character is the ex. We're gonna call her Desperate. Alright? So y'all know the names? Boom. Alright. So on this day, if you're in the DMV area, then you know. If you've been friends with me for a long time, then you know. So I'm gonna ask you to keep it on the hush. I don't need y'all revealing real names, no, none of that. But if you know the story, you know the story. So anyway, so on this day, me, Shrimp, and Zay, and the whole crew, we're all downtown Silver Spring. That's where we normally used to hang out during the summer times and all that, and be able to go do everything. So there was this new place, this new restaurant opening up in downtown Silver Spring that me and my best friend had applied to. So we both had our interview at the same time, and then they hit us up at the same time to come in for orientation, and it ended up being a group orientation. So this day, me and her is looking cute. I remember what I had on to a T. I had on these black and white striped pants that flared at the bottom, and then I had on this cute black shirt. She had on this white button-down shirt and some black little like dress leggings and some cute flats. And I had on some cute flats. Like, we wasn't playing. Like, we was head to toe businesswoman looking real good, ready for orientation. So when we get on our way there and stuff, Zay hits us up and he lets us know, like, there's a lot going on right now. Like, he is not able to get his social. And we're just like, huh? So mind you, we all know that there's an ex involved that was there before Shrimp started dating Zay. And a little backstory on that before we get into how she had, like, before we get into her having his social, he used to live with her here and there, and he would leave his belongings there. And y'all know how women can get when you end up leaving them and moving on. Not all, but you know you have some of those that just be doing too much. But at the same time, behind closed doors, I don't know if he was telling her sweet nothings and she was believing it, and even though he was in this relationship, we don't know. So we're not going to say that he ain't at fault, because I don't know the whole story. It ain't really about him this time around. It's about Miss Desperate, okay? So while we're at orientation, I see Shrimp getting upset and mad and all that. So I'm asking her, like, sis, what's wrong? Like, what is wrong with you? What is the issue? Why are you scrunching up your face? Like, we're here at orientation. You need to focus. You need to pay attention. And she's letting me know that Zay is having a hard time getting his social from Desperate. And she's playing around, playing all these mind games and saying that he got to go over there and all this extra stuff. So I'm like, all right, just let him know. We'll link up with him after orientation and we'll figure it out. So once we get out of orientation, she finally checks her phone again. And she notices that Zay texted her saying that Desperate was going to be on her way up there in a few to drop off his social. I'm always like the one that keeps the peace, the one that keeps the cool. And she's always on edge. Like, she's ready on go. Even when it doesn't have to be. Sometimes you could just turn the other cheek, mind your business, and call it a day. But sometimes ain't no talking that with her. It's just like when it's on site, it's on site. And these females have had words with each other before, so it's not like there wasn't any animosity there. It's not like they wasn't already on go mode beforehand. So that's when I let her know, like, if she's coming up here, you stay inside Potbelly, because that's where we all had met the rest of the gang after our orientation. I'm like, you stay inside Potbelly with everybody else. I will go out there with Zay. We will get the social and we will call it a day. Because I'm like, I don't have no problems with nothing, and I would rather be the one to be the adult about the situation. So she's just in there. She's pissed. She's ready to fight. I'm like, it's chill. So at this time, like, everybody, we're all inside of Potbelly, just pretty much, we're waiting. We're just waiting. And Shawty's taking all day. Every day she's taking forever. She's texting Zay back, talking about some, I'm on my way, I'm about to be there, da da da. So she finally gets to the parking lot. When she gets in the parking lot, we tell her to go ahead and go park inside the parking garage, and we're at Potbelly. So if you know how downtown Silver Spring set up, you know that you will have to park either on the street, pay for parking, or pay for parking inside the garage, and then come out the garage and you're right there where everything is, the whole shopping center and everything is. So she's now walking, and she's just like, all right, I'm walking out of the garage. I see Potbelly. I'm about to walk across the street to there. So we're like, okay, me and Zay, we get up. I turn around, I see Shrimp coming. I say, Shrimp, sit down. Like, we do not need you right now. Just sit up. So we go outside, and we see her. She immediately mugs me because she's like, what are you doing here? And then Zay's just like, this my big sis. She's just trying to make sure that we get what we came here to get, and it ain't no extra nothing. And she's just like, well, you don't need her here. Like, I don't know what you're here for. I'm not trying to fight you. Da 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 da. She's already giving me attitude, and I'm looking at her like, sweetie, it ain't that big of a deal. Like, be quiet. Like, it's not that big of a deal. And I'm just like, do you have his social? She immediately catches the attitude. He can ask me if I have his social himself if he wanted that bad. He can come get it for me. Da, 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 da. So I was just like, okay, but do you have his social? And I looked at him. He was like, yeah, like, do you have my social? We literally only came out here for my social. So do you have my social, and can I get my social? So now she's playing more mind games. Now that we're in front of her face to face, she's not trying to give up the social. And I'm just like, what is your point? Like, what is your purpose? What is wrong with you? Why? And so she's like, I'm not giving you your social until you come to my house. Like, you play with me. Now she's making this all about the relationship and then breakup and everything. And how could you? Yada, yada, yada. And I'm just like, yeah, I get it. You're in your feelings, but move on already. He moved on. That's why I jumped into it, because I see him getting even more mad. And then I know how my little brother get. Like, when he gets mad, he does not want to respond. Like, he gets on hush, and you just see it in his face. So I'm just like, bruh, at this point, he's pissed off, and he really doesn't want to talk to you because you're playing games. Like, if you don't have the social, then say you don't have the social. Or if you do, can we get it? And we can go on about our day, and you can go ahead and mind your business. Like, what's up? So then after that, she was just like, the social's in the car. So I'm like, so what was your purpose of coming out here without the social? He's been texting you all day regarding the social. You said you would bring the social. You said you was on your way with the social. So why did you get out your car, leave the garage, come meet us at Potbelly without the social? And she was like, this not even none of your concern. This not about you. Da, 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 da. I said, goodbye. I said, go get your social out the car, and we will meet you back here. I told him, come on. We went back inside Potbelly. Everybody just like, okay, what happened? Did y'all get it? Da, 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 da. And Shrimp like, Zay, why you mad? Zay not saying nothing. So I'm like, y'all, Desperate didn't bring the social. Desperate came down here to start a whole rack of hoopla to talk about their relationship. She was already upset that I had even walked out there with him because she was wondering why he needed backup and everything. And then she comes and tells us that she left the social inside the car. So everybody was just like, what? Like, Desperate, what are you doing? Like, what is wrong with Desperate? What is her purpose? Da, 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 da. Shrimp was just like, see, this is why y'all need to let me fight her. This is why y'all need to let me fight her. And I'm looking at her and I'm like, Shrimp, we just came out of orientation. We still business dressed down. Like, no, we not fighting nobody looking like this. No, relax. No. So Shrimp is just like, I don't care. I want to fight. I don't care. I want to fight. I said, whatever. So she's about to get ready to text desperate herself. I said, no, let Zay handle it. So then Zay is telling us, she says she wants to meet us at McDonald's. Da, 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 da. I'm like, why do we have to change locations? Why can't she just come back right here? So then I'm just like, you know what? It's cool. We're loud. And at that time, there was somebody that I was kind of sort of talking to, which was also a part of the crew, but he was working at Potbelly. So I was just like, you know what? Maybe that makes more sense. Instead of us doing all this ratchet rah inside of his job, making his bosses look at us like, you always got these people up in here every single time. Let's just go ahead and dip out. So we leave and we start walking down towards McDonald's. So as we're walking, I'm still talking to Shrimp and Zay, and I'm trying to figure out what's going on. I'm like, is she already right there? He's like, nah. She said she's about to pull out of the garage. And I'm like, bruh, it do not take you that long to get to the McDonald's from right there. Like, if anything, she should have been there at least 2 minutes before us, because it takes us a little minute to walk, and some of us be walking slow. So why is she not there yet? So by the time we get to McDonald's, y'all, all the dudes that always hung out downtown Silver Spring, all of them are already in front of McDonald's. And I'm just like, yo, we cannot let nothing pop off from right here, because they hot with it sometimes. Like, these the hot boys for real. But we like, whatever. So we all get right there. They all screaming my name. Hey girl, what's up? Da, 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 da. See y'all in a long time. Y'all look good. Where y'all coming from? Da, da, da. Trying to be all up in our business, but at the same time trying to figure out why we coming down to McDonald's so deep, and why does everybody look pissed off? Because everybody was just mad and annoyed, because it's just like, not only are you wasting my little brother's time, Miss Desperate, you're wasting my time, you're wasting Shrimp's time, you're wasting the whole crew's time, because we're trying to go ahead and go on about our day, do what we wanted to do, have fun, and all of that, but we're running around trying to get you to get this boy his social. Like, why do you want to hold on to his social? That's the only thing that I did not understand throughout this whole entire thing. Why did you want his social so bad? Like, did you think that was going to make him get back with you? I'm confused. Like, make it make sense. But she didn't make sense herself. So anyways, so after that, we're finally down there. Then we see her little truck pulling up, her little white truck pulling up. So once again, because I'm already the most calmest out of the situation, I'm standing in between everyone. She stays in her truck, y'all. She's inside of her truck. She's just inside of her truck. She winds down the window. I'm in front of Zay. I'm in front of her window. Zay is right here on this side behind me. Shrimp right here on this side behind me. So I'm like, all right, you're here now. Can we just get the social? I'm like, just give the social to me, since I'm the calmest, and we can just go on about this. Like, whatever y'all got to talk about, if he wants to respond to you, you can text him about it. But that's most likely not going to happen. And just move on with your life. So she still has an attitude with me, because at the end of the day, her doing all of this was just to get him to talk to her. And the fact that he wasn't talking to her and he was making me say everything because he really didn't have no words for her was pissing her off even more. It's just like, why are you talking to me? Like, why? And who are you? And da 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 and ah. So I'm just like, so Shrimp behind me is whispering to me, I just want to fight her, yo. Like, I want to fight her so bad. Like, I just want to fight her. I'm like, sis, shut up. Like, you're not fighting nobody. I'm not about to allow you to do that right now. Nah, it ain't that deep. Let it go. Zay is just like, do you have my social? Like, what are we doing for? Like, we already came down here. We didn't have to walk to McDonald's. We met you down here. You're down here. Where's my social? She's like, your social's in the house. If the social's in the house, why are you here? And why are you making us do this whole entire runaround? If you don't have it, just say that you miss this boy, you want to talk to him, and you're doing all this just to talk to him, just to have him in your presence. Just be honest with yourself and be honest with us, and we would just go laugh you out and walk on and move on with our day, like, if that's the case. So I rolled my eyes and I'm like, so what was your purpose of coming down here? She couldn't answer me. And then and then my friend just like, Shrimp just like, yo, I told y'all I should have smacked this chick. I told y'all I should have smacked this chick. I should have let me smack her. But because of how we looked, and because we were still in the area of where our job was, and anybody could have been peeping us or anything, I'm just like, I am not trying to jeopardize our job right now. Sis, I'm not about to let you fight. Like, we both just got this job. We about to start making some coin. No. So as I'm trying to tell her that, Desperate comes out of her dumb mouth talking about some, let her smack me. I turned around and looked at Desperate. I said, no, I'm trying to save you here. Like, just take the lifeline. I'm trying to save you. She's like, I don't care. I don't care. She ain't gonna do nothing. She could smack me. She could smack me. Let her smack me. So that's when Shrimp was like, Maeve, move. When my best friend tells me to move, I'll ask her, is she sure? And if she says she's sure, then I'm moving. And once I move from in front of you and you get that fire, that is on you. That's on you. And this whole, y'all, when I get to the fight part, it is hilarious because I do not know how Desperate allowed this to happen. I don't know why her guard wasn't up and she was already pump faking like, yeah, let her fight me, let her smack me, and say all this stuff and rah. You should have had more bite than your part. That's all I'm gonna say. So everybody also always came for my best friend because she was short. My best friend was like at least 5'2", and I'm what, 5'5", 5'6" now. So everybody always felt like, oh, she's little, she's not gonna do nothing, and I'm like, y'all don't know Shrimp the way that I know Shrimp, but okay. So then I was like, I turned around and I'm like, Shrimp, you sure? She was like, move. And I'm like, all right, bet. So I back up from the car door. As soon as Desperate cracks her door open, when I say Shrimp jumped inside of her car so fast, Desperate started getting beat up in her driver's seat. And I'm looking like, I just moved. So when did she fly in the car? I'm sitting here trying to calculate the time it took for Desperate to open her car door, for Shrimp to jump in there, and it literally happened in like 0.1 seconds. Like, and I'm just like seeing it all go down. Zay is watching it, and we're just all in shock. The hot boys over there literally in front of the McDonald's door like, ah, oh, it's a fight. Oh my gosh, ah, she just jumped in that whole car. And I'm just like, she just really jumped there. Like, I'm still confused, y'all. Like, I'm still confuzzled. Like, I'm over here like, French is real. So as I'm still calculating that, I'm watching everything with my bag in my hand like this. And my friend, I don't know where her shoes was. You know, her shoes was in the car. So then as I'm watching this fight go down, because I'm like, dang, girl, like, damn, Desperate. I wasn't rooting for you, but I at least thought you had a chance in there. Like, how you let a female jump inside your car and start beating you? And you knew that you was about to get this butt whipping, and you was talking a whole racket-ish. So how you allow this? So while that's going on, Desperate attempts to open the passenger car door and to get out so she can end up on top of Shrimp. But that backfired too, because Shrimp hears her open the door, because all I hear is and I see legs and everything just going down. So that's when I see that the passenger door flies open and they both slide out, but Shrimp is still on top of Desperate talking about yee. And I'm just like, where's your shoes? Like, I be thinking of the wrong things at the time. Like, I'm not even paying attention to the fight. I'm just like, where's your shoes? So then we get to the other side of the car. Me and Zay walk around the other side of the car because we're just like, all right, it's probably about time to break this fight up. But we was about to let it go on for a little bit because it's just like, these girls have had a lot of words to say towards each other over the time of Zay and Shrimp being together, and Zay leaving Desperate. They've had a lot of words, so it's like, y'all honestly need to get it out now. Like, just go ahead and fight at this point since y'all already fighting. So then we look up and we see that security is coming outside and she's on the phone with the feds. So once we noticed that, that's when we're just like, all right, fight broke up. So Zay picks up Shrimp. When Desperate noticed that Zay's picked up Shrimp and now she's restricted, Desperate tries to go for Shrimp while she's tied down. I pulled Desperate back like, nah, we not doing that. I didn't even want to grab her, but I'm like, nah, we're not doing that, and I'm not about to sit here and let you get some licks in with my friend while she's held back. Like, her hands are literally behind her back. She can't defend herself now. So why would you try to get one? So when I did that, that's when Shorty punched me. But it felt like a slap because the real was just like it was one of them. That's what it felt like. So when that happened, I turned around and was like, bah! Because it's just like, I didn't do nothing to you. You don't need to touch me. I'm just trying to break this fight up. So why are you swinging on me? So when she swung on me, it was a natural reflex to swing back. And then next thing I know, Zay is dragging me backwards. When he drags me backwards, I turn around. I looked in the car. I grabbed Shrimp's flats and I put them in my purse. Then I'm wandering around and I'm like, where's Shrimp? Where's Shrimp? Like, Shrimp is gone. Like, she's gone. All I see is the Hot Boys. Fez is now coming. Zay is right there pushing Desperate back on the wall. Like, chill out, chill out, chill out, chill out. He's shaking her. He's just like, where is my social? Chill out. Like, you're not about to fight my sis. You're ready to fight my girl. Like, you're not doing this. Chill out. So while he's doing that, I'm like, all right, he good. I go inside of McDonald's looking for Desperate in the bathroom, right? As I'm looking for her in the bathroom to see where she is, I turn around and I see the feds outside of McDonald's looking at me. I'm looking at them. They're looking at me. They're trying to get me. And I'm just like, yeah, you're not about to get me. So this is another funny part. So I'm like this. I start walking this way. I see them walking this way. I start walking back that way. They start walking back that way. I hit one of these, boom, and then I ran out of the McDonald's door on the right side. Once again, if you know how this McDonald's is set up downtown Silver Spring, the one right there by the station, then you know which door that I'm talking about. So when they thought I was about to come out the door on the left, I ended up running out the door on the right. Then I ran up the street. I ran up the street. I didn't even know if they was coming for me or not. I was just like, girl, run and don't look back. We is not getting caught looking like this. You ain't do nothing. Run. So I'm running, y'all. I'm running. This is where I laughed at myself because it was to the point these feds could not catch me. And I don't know why. I ran so fast. I got to the station. Realized wasn't no money on my smart trip, so I couldn't get in. Instead of me hopping the gate like I would normally do, my wires was all over the place. I ended up going to the car joint, tapping my smart trip, putting some money on my card, tapping it again, then tapping on the thing, and running up the steps to get on the train. I turned around, the feds was still trying to get to me. And I'm like, how y'all ain't catch me at McDonald's in the station, in the side of the station that I went on are like this far apart. So the time it took me to run and put money on my smart trip, y'all should have had me in handcuffs or something by then. Like, y'all should have snatched me up. They didn't. So I get on the train, my phone ends up dying, but one of the Hot Boys ended up hopping on the train with me. I didn't even know he was behind me. He was like, yo, you funny as hell. You funny as hell. He was like, you real put money on your smart trip and they still couldn't even get you. Like, I turned around, y'all was fighting. Turn back around, all I see is your legs and then black and white stripes going phew up the street. And I said, I was not playing. What am I getting caught up in some mess for? I ain't do nothing. I was trying to avoid all of this, and yet it still happened regardless. So I finally get home, put my phone on the charge, and I guess that's when everybody was blowing me back up because then I had to go back downtown Silver Spring so that Zay didn't get locked up. So Shrimp calls me. She was like, girl, where you at? They trying to lock Zay up. They trying to lock Zay up. Come back down here. Come back down here. And I said, lock him up for what? For what? She was like, because this girl, Desperate, is telling them that he hit her, that he put his hands on her, and we both know that I just fought her. And I was like, yeah, the last person that hit her was me. She was like, you hit her? I said, yeah, because when we broke y'all up, she tried to get some licks in on you. I held her back, so then she thought that was okay to lick me. So then I licked her back. And then Zay pulled me up off of her and I only got one hit in. I was literally the last person to hit her. It was not him. He didn't touch her. But all he did was held her back. After that, that's when I went looking for you. Before we even finished as to why she told him that, where were you? That's when Shrimp was like, girl, once I noticed the security and feds after y'all pulled us apart, I ran. And I ran to go hide in somebody's bushes. And I was like, you was in somebody's bushes. Why you ain't call me? She was like, girl, I wasn't thinking. My adrenaline was pumping and all that. She was like, I looked up and it was an interracial couple. The white lady was looking at me in shock and kind of scared. And she told her husband. And her husband came over there. He seen me, how I was looking, hair messed up, no shoes on. And was like, you good? She was like, yeah. He was like, they not over here. She was like, okay. Like he already knew. Black people, we know when we see people in certain predicaments, in certain situations, we can already put 2 and 2 together, we know. So homie was like, stay here as long as you need, hide. I'll let you know when the feds drive by. The feds actually drove by. He was like, they're gone now, da-da-da. That's what made her go back to McDonald's, because then Zay started calling her because he was like, yo, they got me in cuffs. Well, Zay didn't really call her. It was one of our homies that called her off his phone but put Zay on the phone while he was in cuffs, and Zay was telling him the story. So then that's when I had to go back down there. I'm on my way back down there. And the feds are now questioning me because they're trying to say, well, we're about to take him to jail because if he put his hands on her, it's like domestic violence, da-da-da-da. And I'm like, he did not touch her. I'm like, if y'all want to run cameras back or anything, because I know y'all got some security cameras out here, he did not touch her. I was like, yes, they fault. It is what it is. Then we broke the fight up. She swung on me and I hit her. And she was like, that wasn't you. I said, that was me, boo. She was like, well, you hit like a man. You hit like a man. So then that's when they finally uncuffed him. Because then the truth came out. She was like, yeah, she was the one who hit me. I remember, da-da-da. But I thought that Zay had got a swing on too. Because her hit was real heavy. Her hit, I'm very heavy-handed, y'all. Which is why I don't like to fight, and I try not to fight because I can really do some damage. And if I just swung on you once and you already got my brother in cuffs, now I want to swing on you again because it's just like, what? So then she ended up going about her day. She leaves. She finally gets in her whip. She dips out. Me and them, it's now nighttime. We're still downtown Silver Spring. And we're just all trying to just think about what happened. Everybody's laughing at me because they was just like, Maeve, how did you get home so fast? And I said, it don't even matter at this point. I just got home because people had me messed up. And I wasn't about to get locked up for y'all. Like, nah. Like, I was not about to get caught up in nothing for y'all. This is y'all doing. I love y'all. Y'all my friends and everything. But I'm not going down with y'all. Like, I told y'all we wasn't doing this. And then as we're walking back up the street to now go chill downtown Silver Spring or whatever and just finally have the relaxed day that we wanted to have, we end up seeing one of the hot boys and he's like, hey, there go Tyson and Jumping Shrimp. And we're like, what? And he was like, Tyson and Jumping Shrimp. He was like, hey, Maeve, I ain't even gonna hold you. The way you hit Shorty, you real funny, yo. You real funny. And then the way that you dipped on them feds, you funny. And then he was like, hey, yo, Shrimp, I ain't know you had them legs up in you. The way you jumped in Shorty's truck. Mind you, I said my friend is short. Her truck is up here. He was like, yo, you the new Jumping Shrimp, yo. You the Jumping Shrimp, man. Like, you the Jumping Shrimp for real. You just jumped in Shorty's car, beat her from her driver's seat to the passenger seat and outside the car. Man, you the GOAT. And I'm just like, this is now what we're about to be known for, sis. Like, they about to know us for fighting out here. And this is our first fight and we shouldn't be fighting. Because if you know that McDonald's, that McDonald's downtown Silver Spring, especially back then, during 2014 and all that, back when I had first graduated high school and everything. When I say that's the hot spot, that was the hot spot. I don't know if it's still the hot spot now for the teenagers and stuff now, because I don't be down there like I used to be, but that used to be my stomping grounds, y'all. And when I say, like, that was hilarious, and the place that something always happened. Like, every time me and her went down there, something always happened. But it's just like, at the same time, we had every reasons to be down there, because not only was we going to go see my little brother / her boo, we went to college out there. So it was just like, it is what it is. So we going on about our day, we're laughing. I'm just like, all right, y'all, well, I'm tired. I'm about to go back home. They then walk me back to the station and I go home. Shrimp and Zay is just like, we still out here. We about to go make some coin. Because Zay was one of them dancing dudes. They used to always be out here dancing and making his little coin with his little dancer crew. And yeah, so that's how it went. But it was just hilarious. So then that's when Shrimp ended up calling me later on, and she's just like, girl, why is she back down here with all her friends and they so-called looking for me? But Zay not even about to let that happen. Zay just ordered me an Uber home and I'm on my way home. And I was like, why are they looking for you? As she's about to explain to me, I get a text from my homeboy. And I'm not going to give him a name because he don't need one. But what Desperate doesn't know is that I was very known. Like, a lot of people knew me, not even from my neighborhood and where I was living at in DC, because I'm from uptown. Everybody knew me out there. Everybody knew me from school. So she didn't know that even though there was other people that went to different schools, I also had an ex in another school, but me and him was still cool, even though we wasn't together no more. And one of his friends was dating one of her homegirls. And me and him was still cool. I've met the girlfriend before and all that. Me and her cool, had no issues. Nobody has issues with me. Everybody loved me. That's how it always was. Everybody loved me, no problems. So then as she's explaining to me why the girls were looking for her, I got a text from my homeboy. He was like, you and your friends just jumped Desperate? I said, what? What? We jumped who? He was like, y'all jumped Desperate, that's foul. Like, I didn't think that you was that type of person or that you had it in you. Why out here jumping people? I was like, I ain't jumped nobody. What you talking about? So then and then I me and her on the phone. I said, girl, why I just got a text from my homeboy? And he was like, we jumped Desperate. And she was like, girl, that's what I was just about to tell you. That's why they're down here looking for me. The way everything happened, she's now telling her friends that because she took that L, instead of telling them what really happened, she's over there telling them that she got jumped by us, that we jumped her after our orientation. Like, she didn't talk about nothing about the whole social, nothing. She just said she came up here, we seen her, and we jumped her. And I'm like, man, when should I say she's telling this story to favor her so everybody can feel sorry for her? This is hilarious. So I'm like, girl, I'm gonna call you right back. I'm about to go call my homeboy. So that's when I ended up calling my homeboy, and I had to break down everything that happened to him. That's when Zay ended up texting me, what did you say? Because these girls just stopped looking for Shrimp. Like, they just laughed out Desperate and they're not looking for Shrimp no more. And I said, I didn't say nothing but really explain to my homeboy what really happened. And then that's when he was like, well, homeboy, and I told him who he was. He was like, oh, you know him? I was like, I been knew him before I ever met you. And he was like, dang sis, you got it like that. And I'm like, it's not that I got it like nothing. I told the truth, and I'm guessing that he told his girl the truth, and they probably went on her for that and asked them, is this what really happened? And if that's the case, then why do you have us all out here looking for this girl and it ain't even that deep or whatever? So then that's when Desperate, I guess, went home sad. Zay ended up going to Shrimp House, and they both end up calling me again that night. So we're all just on the phone talking about everything and laughing about how everything went, and still in confusion. Hey sis, if you're watching this, yes, I just took your word, I'm sorry. But yeah, we're just all just talking about it because this whole entire situation was hilarious. Like, it was just so funny to me how we went down there for orientation and still ended up fighting. Like, nobody thought that anybody was gonna get in a fight that day, but the fact that we did is hilarious. And the fact that she had to take that L, that's on her. Like, that's on her. That's on her. And there's still going to be more stories about Zay, Shrimp, and Desperate because they have their own, you know, soap opera going on, and that's where a lot of the drama stemmed from them three. And I was just there for it with my popcorn and all. Like, I was just there. Like, everybody was calling me with the tea, and I'm just like, dang, and giving advice and all that. But that's the story time for today, y'all, on how Shrimp and I fought the ex. It wasn't planned, but it happened. There wasn't really much that happened after that, because if I do start it, then that'll be pretty much me starting a whole new story time. But y'all can wait for that story time. So, like, all that I can say that really did happen after that night was just Desperate still contacting Zay and trying to talk about everything with him not responding. So it ended up being her having a lot of conversations by herself in his message thread until he finally responded. And I'll let y'all know about that time when he finally responded in another story time. But this was hilarious. I hope you all enjoyed today's story time video. I'm about to go get ready for work and get up out of here. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, turn on your post notifications, and ring that bell. Don't forget to comment some blue hearts to let your girl know that you are now part of the tribe, or that you are a tribe member. Don't forget to share my video to your family, your friends, your mama, your papa, your sister, your brothers, your cousins, the insects, the sky, the birds, the trees, the fleas, all that and more, even the people underground, all that. Like, yeah. And that's my story. Like, no, I'm out before I keep wrapping y'all up. Peace, love, and blessings. Boy.
I just wake up, you know.